Hello friends, I'm George, the nice medic gentleman. Welcome back to my channel guys, I hope that all of you are doing well. In my yesterday's video I covered a Maison Alhambra fragrance that turned out to be a very pleasant surprise. The fragrance was called Salvo Intense and it was a clone of Dior Sauvage EDP, and it turned out to be a really good clone of Sauvage EDP. Well, in today's video I'm going to cover yet another Maison Alhambra fragrance that turned out to be even bigger of a pleasant surprise. This one is called Glacier Ultra, and this fragrance is a clone of Jean-Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male. So join me in this video today to see why I'm really happy with this fragrance. As usual, let's quickly check out the packaging and the presentation of Glacier Ultra from Maison Alhambra. The fragrance comes packaged in this tin box that, pretty much reminiscent of what you get with the original fragrance. On the front you got the name of the fragrance, the name of the company, the concentration EDP, the bottle size, 100 milliliters. There's a sticker of authenticity on one of the sides, some branding on the top and on the back, and then on the bottom there's a production date which reads August of 2023, and once you open up the box you're greeted by the bottle, which looks like this. It has the same design as all other members of the Glacier line of Maison Alhambra fragrances. To be honest, I'm not really a big fan of the design of this bottle. I think it looks a little bit tacky. Now you need to look at it under a light source to see the actual coloring of the bottle, which is dark blue. Under normal lighting it looks like it's black. Otherwise the bottle has nice heft to it. The cap feels incredibly cheap, it's very plasticky, but at least it's a snug fit. All in all, the packaging is alright, but again I'm not a big fan of the bottle design. The note breakdown of Glacier Ultra, at least per what I was able to find online, has the following notes. The top notes are lavender, mint, bergamot and pear. The middle notes are cardamom and sage, and the base notes are amber, patchouli, vanilla and musk. As usual, I'll show you the sprayer in action, and the sprayer is actually very good. And then I'll tell you about the scent of Glacier Ultra. Now, the opening is a very nice blast of a very sweet pear that is accompanied by quite a lot of vanilla sweetness right from the get-go. You get a touch of the lavender and the bergamot, and also quite a lot of freshness from the mint note. The opening is very nice, very sweet, bubblegummy sweet, and very enjoyable. Feels really kind of youthful and uplifting, and I really like the opening of Glacier Ultra, just like I like the opening of the original Ultra Male from Jean-Paul Gaultier. When this goes into the dry down, some of that freshness, the minty and lavender freshness from the opening, they go away, and on the dry down, it becomes a little bit more sweet, like a darker type of sweetness, the vanilla, the sweet pear, some additional sweetness from the amber. It's a very nice and enjoyable scent. The lavender is still somewhere in the background, but it provides more of a balancing out, provides more of a balance to the sweet properties of this fragrance, rather than adding freshness like it does in the opening. All in all, the scent profile is really nice. The fragrance is very well blended. There's absolutely no harshness, no alcohol blast or anything, and it's really nicely done. When it comes to how close Glacier Ultra is to the original fragrance, I would say that I was surprised at what a good job Maison Alhambra have done with this fragrance. It's super close. The opening is almost identical to the original fragrance. It lacks a little bit of the quality of the sweet pear note, a little bit of that sparkly sweetness that you get out of the the pear note, but apart from that it's almost identical. The dry down again is super close, and in the air around the person who wears Glacier Ultra, it's pretty much identical to what you get with the original fragrance. When it comes to performance, this is another area where Glacier Ultra does really well. Now, the original fragrance has always been a beast mode performer for me. Glacier Ultra is not as beastly as the original, but still it's very strong. The performance that I've been getting out of Glacier Ultra is about 9 hours, with a very nice projection in the first about 2 hours. So performance wise, Glacier Ultra has turned out to be a very good performer. When it comes to the price tag, a little bit more expensive compared to most other Maison Alhambra fragrances. At least here in Europe, I paid about 22 euros to get this fragrance, which will translate into something like $25-26 in the US, which again makes it a little bit more expensive than your average Maison Alhambra fragrance. But at the same time, considering the good job that Maison Alhambra have done copying the original fragrance and the good performance of this one, I would say that it's a very, very good deal. And when it comes to versatility, this is you know, a very, very nice youthful scent that's great for, you know, clubbing nights. It's more of a nighttime scent, definitely a little bit more orientated towards the colder months of the year. And so onto my final thoughts about Glacier Ultra from the house of Maison Alhambra. This turned out to be a fantastic fragrance and a real pleasant surprise for me. Now, my experience with the Glacier line wasn't that good up to this point. You know, I tried and reviewed Glacier Le Noir, which turned out to be an okay clone of Le Male Le Parfum, so my expectations about Ultra weren't that high, but the reality turned out to be different, and I've been really enjoying Glacier Ultra from the house of Maison Alhambra. Maison Alhambra have done a fantastic job copying the original scent. It's almost identical with pretty good performance, and up to this day, you know, in my opinion, the two best clones of Ultra Male were 9 PM from Afna, but it's more of a twist, not a direct clone, and Attar Al Wizard from the house of Al Wataniya, which up until recently I thought was the best clone of Ultra Male, you know, copying one-to-one the original fragrance. But now I'm not too sure, because Glacier Ultra also feels as a fantastic clone. And probably at some point I will compare the two fragrances. All in all, if you don't already own 9 PM or Attar Al Wizard, then I think Glacier Ultra is a definite contender when it comes to the best Ultra Male clone that you can get. I've been really impressed by this one, and this one gets my recommendation and gets a huge like from me. So guys, in today's video I showed you a fantastically well done clone of Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male from the house of Maison Alhambra called Glacier Ultra. I hope that you found this video interesting. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me in the next one. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.